On what intervals does the function below have a positive and negative derivative? Well, when a function has a positive and negative derivative, let's think about what that means. So if we have a derivative that is positive, that means of course it's greater than 0, and that tells me that the original function is increasing on that interval. And then if the first derivative is less than 0, so if it's negative, that tells me the original function is decreasing on that interval. So if we go and look at the intervals, I have an increasing interval here up to this particular point where it changes, and then the function starts decreasing, and then it changes again at this particular point, and then it starts increasing once again off to infinity. So the thing about intervals of increase and decrease is that it's defined based off of x intervals. So we don't need to answer in terms of any y values. So if I were to take this portion of the curve here, that I'll shade in green, and look at where that exists on the x-axis, we don't include the changing point, so we'll just make that a open parentheses. But on that interval right there, so from where this change happens, from negative infinity up to where that change happens. So we have the first derivative is greater than 0 on that particular interval, so from negative infinity to negative 1.5. And then it is changing, and now we're decreasing here on this interval down to this point. But again, we only answer in terms of the x. So the x values where these things are happening would be this interval here. So we are then decreasing, so the derivative is less than 0 on that particular interval, so from negative 1.5 to positive 2. And again, we don't include the points where things change. And then we have another interval of increase after that one ends and goes off to infinity. So then we put a u here in between these two for union, two sets, that joins two sets together. And then we go from positive 2 to positive infinity. And those are the intervals for which the function has a positive and negative derivative.